Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with the ship with me. These are all things that came through over the past couple days. Some really interesting sales here, cool vintage piece, some pieces that took like surprisingly long time to sell, and kind of excited to kind of walk you through basically what I got, what I sold it for, how long I had it for, really just kind of bring you into that thought process and like, let's talk about how that dictates what I pick up in the future. But if this is the first time you're here, if this is the first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But with that being said, guys, it is late in the day. The sun is low in the sky, so I've got to get these things packed up into my car and off to the post office. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and let's get into the shipment. So the first piece that's sold here is this absolutely stunning dress that my mother found back east. Now, she found this after I was recently out visiting, and I had accidentally had something shipped to her house. So when I had her ship that back out to me, she included this in the box. This is a stunning little linen dress from a brand called Petticoat Lane. Now, it looks like Petticoat Lane is a high-end boutique in like Greenwich, Connecticut. And their dresses look like they retail somewhere between like $400 and $500. Very, very expensive. Beautiful though. Looks like lots of silks and linens and high-end and very kind of timeless feminine designs. And this fits very well in with that. And it is just beautiful. My mom was so excited when she found this one, and I was also excited to get it. So I'd say if you see a Petticoat Lane dress or a Petticoat Lane, like one of the brands that Petticoat Lane carries in store, I'd go ahead and grab that. I'd feel comfortable paying up for it. So I had this listed for just 1 week at $60, and I got an offer for I had this listed for just 1 week at $64, and I got an offer for $56.40 on Depop, which I absolutely accepted with a roughly $1 cost. I think my mom found this in the bins back east. This brought me to a profit of $52.66. I hope she absolutely loves this, because this is a really like stunning dress, and it's got kind of like a longer waist, right? It's got a little bit more of a drop waist, which is definitely something like drop waists and basque waists are something you're gonna be seeing a little bit more of in fashion today. Drop waists are basically across the hip bones. If you can imagine like the top of your hip bones, that's where a drop waist will sit, and then a basque waist is kind of there, but then it has a V or like a rounded curve in the front. So just keep your eyes out for it and make sure you're using those as keywords if you have something with that kind of waist. Next up is another cute little piece my mom found. This is from a brand called Giglio, G-I-G-I-O. Why does it feel like I just lapsed into Old MacDonald? Gauze, an eyelet top, boxy fit, short sleeve. I think that this is a boutique brand because I wasn't able to find much on the brand, and usually when that is the case, that's kind of why. It's because it's a boutique brand, because they don't really do much advertising, right? It's not like Abercrombie and Fitch that advertises, or a store that advertises different brands that they carry. So super cute though. Style-wise, I knew that this was something that was gonna go pretty dang quick. Although it's funny, like a lot of the things that I'm selling like this week are so summery, you'll see. It's funny, like this last piece and this feels so summery, and it is January right now. But that just goes to show, list your stuff, make sure you're using the vacation tags and stuff in it, because people are going on vacation right now. Also, spring break is right around the corner, so that starts in, I think, March. So make sure you got your swimsuits, your swim cover-ups, all that kind of stuff listed a good month in advance of that, because people will start shopping for that about a month to 2 months out. So I had this listed for $28 for about 3 weeks, got an offer for $20, which I gladly accepted with a less than $1 cost at the East Coast bins. This brought me to a profit of $16.09. Hope she loves it. That is such a cute little classic top. Next up, we have a nice little James Perse undershirt here. Now this one is a size 5, which I believe is a 2XL, and it's a V-neck. And I think that that is the reason that this took as long as it did to sell. Typically when I get a James Perse like undershirt, these are meant to be undershirts, right? Like these are sold by James Perse as undershirts. I think most people are wearing crew necks at this point, but I also think that most people, when they're buying these short sleeve shirts from James Perse, they're not necessarily, even though they're marketed as undershirts, I think that they're just being worn as a plain black t-shirt. Because usually when I have a James purse undershirt like this, and it's, you know, crew neck, it sells generally within the month. But this sat around for a little bit longer. That being said, it's still a James Perse t-shirt, and if you are seeing it at the right price, I would pick up any James Perse piece ever. They are so expensive, they are a cult favorite brand, and people really love them. And it's one of those brands that just kind of like flies under the radar. I don't think that they even advertise. I feel like I have never seen a James Perse ad, but I also don't think that they need to. You know, the name just kind of precedes it. For these kind of t-shirts, crew neck or V-neck, you're probably gonna get somewhere between $20 and $30. So just keep that kind of final sale price in mind as you're outsourcing. You probably don't wanna be paying $10 for something like this. Other James Perse pieces, absolutely, but the t-shirts, you probably wanna keep that to like $4 or $5 and under, if you can. So I had this one listed at $30 and I had it listed for about 4 months again. I think it had a few things going against it. And I got an offer for $22, which I was glad to accept. I was happy to be moving this one on with a $1 cost at the bins. This brought me to a profit of $16.60. Great little piece. Next up, this was a cool one. Actually, my mom found this. We were out thrifting together and she found this. And this is this crazy velour, soft, plush. This is called a lounger robe from a brand called Diamond Tea, which is a brand that they sell at Neiman Marcus. They still make these, and this is new with tags. Like it has a Neiman Marcus tag on it for $245. Now, I don't know how old this is, because again, they still make these, but like the quality on this is so gorgeous. This velour is so soft. It's got little shoulder pads. It's got this beautiful like satin roping trim. Now, again, the official name for this, per the company that made it, is called a lounger robe. But if you were to find something like this, I would make sure that you're using duster, house coat, like all these things I think are interchangeably used for pieces like this. Duster, house coat, dressing gown, long robe, you know, this is just something that I think people will call all of those things depending on, you know, where they're from and how they were raised and what they called it, you know, growing up. This kind of robe has been around for a long time. Chances are if it's somebody younger, like their parents might have called it their duster, you know, you just want to make sure that you're getting all the eyeballs on it that could potentially be looking for something like this. It is a really gorgeous piece. And if you look on their website, this brand has some really beautiful things, all in the same kind of price range. So anyway, I had this listed for just 3 weeks. I had it listed at $100. I had no idea what I was gonna get for it, but I got an offer for $75, which I gladly accepted. With a $9 cost at the thrift, this brought me to a profit of $51 even. This is a gorgeous piece. I hope this goes to a lot of good use. I'm such a robe girl, so like I understand the importance of having a great robe. Next up, a great little bread and butter piece. Another one from my mom. I was realizing this is like boom, 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 like right in a row. This is a little Chicos slub cotton long sleeve t-shirt. Such a great little bread and butter piece. These are the kind of things I will always pick up when I see them in great condition. They're pretty expensive, and especially like with t-shirts, people have like an allegiance to specific cuts. Like I know that there are t-shirts that I love that are not made anymore, and I love the cut of them. They fit me right. So I will constantly like pay up for them on the secondhand market, because when something fits you right, it fits you right. And I don't buy a lot, so I don't care paying a little extra for something that's right. And Chicos makes some great basics like this. This one was a size 3, which I believe is an extra large, which is a good size. Like if you're shopping for Chicos, or if you're outsourcing and you see a lot of Chicos, I would probably stick to size 3 and above. Maybe size 2 and above. Just the larger sizes in Chicos do move like significantly faster than smaller sizes. So I had this listed for just 2 weeks at $28. I got an offer for $20, and with a somewhere around dollar cost from the East Coast bins, this brought me to a profit of $15. Again, this sold in just 2 weeks. These kind of basics are great quick sales, not huge sales, but there's something to be said about those things that come in and out of your closet. Next up here, we've got this great vintage Victoria's Secret 90s slip nightgown. Now it's funny, so Victoria's Secret gold label is generally what you're looking for, and I've had different like long slips like this sell for like $60, $70. Generally in the blue and purple colorways. The red was kind of a new one for me. And my mom found this. There was a lot that my mom found in this ship with me. Again, that's crazy. I guess I had a huge haul, so I'm selling off things from there. Would make sense. Anyway, when I went to list this one, it turns out there were a lot of this specific gown out there. And I've never experienced that before. So this must have been like kind of a popular nightgown back in the day, just this specific model. The ones that people are really looking for, the ones that have sold really well for me, are the ones that have kind of a cowled neck. Also, if you can find them in silk, all the better. But either way, vintage Victoria's Secret nightgowns sell very, very well for me, generally very, very quickly for me. I will tell you now that I've had this experience to check comps, if you're able to do like a Google like photo search while you're outsourcing, just to make sure that it's not something, you know, like if you're gonna pay $5 for something like this, it's great. You're gonna get a good price for it. But this also isn't one of the ones that I would like suggest paying $15 or $20 for, which if you're finding one of the more, I guess, rare pieces, I would say to do all day. Anyway, I had this listed for just 2 weeks. Again, these are always really fast sellers. I had it listed for $34 and I got an offer for $25, which I did accept. I think my mom might have paid $2 or $3 for this at her local thrift, so that brought my profit to $18 even. I hope they love it. It's in perfect condition, and it was a size large. I feel like I never find these in a size large. Also, just friendly reminder, I feel like I've been beating this fact down recently, but like, don't forget when you are outsourcing, if you are out in the thrifts, check out the nightgown aisle. There is oftentimes stuff like that that you can find. You will also sometimes find like a silk slip dress or like a nice slip dress that they put in there because they think it's a nightgown instead of a dress. You'll pay like half the price that you would pay if you were buying it as a dress. But anyway, I'm just saying it is oftentimes a treasure trove at the thrift and cheaper than dresses. Next up is this adorable shirt from We the Free. Now, this is a shirt I've actually had for a while, and I'm kind of surprised at how long this took. I am, but I'm not. It is super cute, very boho. It falls beautifully. It's like boxy. It's the right kind of proportions. And it's We the Free, which is the Free People brand that sells the fastest for me. It was an extra small. So am I surprised a little bit just because of how cute it was, but it's also an extra small, so I know that that's just a much smaller buyer pool. I have another thing that sold today, same deal, super cute, like had all the things going for it, but it's an extra small, so it took a long time to sell. I'm trying to get a little bit better about picking up less extra smalls. They just take a long time to sell. I mean, obviously there are certain brands that I really only pick up size large, extra large and up, and that's one thing, but even Free People, Anthropology, all these kind of like higher end mall brands, Aritzia, I'm trying to pick up like mediums and up these days. Even smalls move a little bit slower. Obviously, if I'm finding something in great condition in a small, I'm gonna grab it. But extra smalls, extra smalls, they can really be a drain on storage if you are like me with a limited amount of storage space. So I had this listed for 10 months and guaranteed if this was like a size large, this would have been sold in a month. It's super cute. So I had it listed for $30 and I got an offer for $23, which I did accept. Happy to be moving this on, and with a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $20.47. Super cute though. I hope she loves it. I loved this shirt. Next up, now this was a fun one. This is a vintage Sergio Tacchini windbreaker, straight out of like the early 90s. And it's funny, I found this and somebody had chimed in and said that this specific brand was having a bit of a resurgence in popularity because of the Menendez brothers show, which, did you watch it? I watched it. I thought it was great. Like, I need to talk to somebody about that one entire episode that was done in a single shot. Like, I remember watching that and just, like, at some point, like 15, 20 minutes in, I realized that they hadn't cut the camera at all. And I was like, oh my God, they're doing this in one shot. Unbelievable. Let me know, like, comment down below. Sorry if you haven't watched it yet. It was done really well. I think it was a Ryan Murphy project, but comment below if you know what I'm talking about and you were also like amazed, because that was heavy and incredible. And I don't even know how somebody could have done that. Anyway, Sergio Tacchini, vintage windbreaker. And they were very, like, they're high end, right? They're pretty expensive. I'm sure this at some point had a pair of pants that matched it, because that's what it was all about back then. And it was funny, when I first got it, I thought, I must have been thinking of Sergio Valenti. I was like, this name is so familiar, but sure enough, I was thinking of Sergio Valenti, but I'm I'm sure I had heard of Sergio Tacchini as well. Must have been something out of my price range back in the early 90s. So I had this listed for about a month and a half, had a lot of interest in it. A couple offers over on Depop that never really materialized, but I had it listed for $58 and I got an offer for $45, which I gladly accepted. And with a $1 cost at the bins, this brought me to a profit of $35.06. Hope he loves it. It is a fun little piece. I love finding these little like pieces of history and getting them into new homes. Next up here is this cute little pleated skirt. This is another thing that I've had for a very long time. Small size, short skirt. So again, not too surprising. I do believe that this is also a size extra small. So this is from a brand called Milow. And I've had a couple pieces from Milow. They're sold at Revolve, I'm not sure where else, but really cute. And this is something that I've also had a bunch of interest in over the time that I've had it, but I have had this over a year. So it's funny, I was looking at other pieces that I've had from Milow, and every other piece that I've had has sold within 2 weeks. And then this one sat for over a year. So the other ones were tops. This is the only bottom I had. Maybe that had something to do with it, but I'm gonna guess it's probably more to do with the fact that it was like a mini skirt and a size small. And it didn't photograph all that well. Like you couldn't see a lot of the detail because they're micro pleats, it's black, that's always really hard to photograph. Anyway, it was hard to just kind of get the details of this captured on film. That could have had something to do with it as well. But anyway, I had this listed at $26. I had lowered the price, I think once or twice over the year. Again, I had it listed for over a year. I got an offer for $18, which I was glad to accept. I was happy to be moving this on. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $13.40. It is a cute little skirt though, like something that can be worn in a lot of different ways. Next up is this adorable little dress from Mini Boden. Now Mini Boden is not something that I see a whole lot of, and this little dress is so stinking cute. So it's sweater knit up top, right? Long sleeve. And it's got these cute tiers, I don't know if you see the sparkle here in the edging, but it's adorable. This is 100% a dress that me as a kid would have killed for. Ruffles, sparkles, colorful. That was my game as a kid. But Mini Boden is one of those brands, Boden in general, like I absolutely love Boden as a brand. Their stuff is made so well. They always use really nice textiles. Their styles are generally very classic. They wash well, they wear well. And they're expensive, but not like outrageously so. And any piece I've ever had from Boden, like adult Boden, has sold so quick. And I get it. I get the hype. Like Boden is worth the hype. And I've only had a few pieces of Mini Boden over time. They sell a little bit slower than the adult stuff, but they still do sell well because, again, really nice stuff. I have a feeling that most people that buy Mini Boden like resell it because it does resell quite well. So I had this listed for about 4 months and I had it listed at $30. And I got an offer for $25, which I did accept. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $19 even. I hope the little girl that is getting this dress absolutely loves it because I certainly would have. Next up, this is the other thing that came through that took such a long time to sell, and it kind of surprised me, but again, extra small. So maybe it makes a little bit of sense. This is from By Anthropology. It's this very like chunky knit, cotton fisherman style sweater with a hood. Again, extra small. I'll tell you one thing. This sweater is very chunky and I'm happy to be moving this on because it took up a lot of space in storage. By Anthropology is one of my favorite Anthropology brands to find. I feel like it sells the best out of any of them for me right now, not counting like the special collaborations that they do. But this sweater in particular, I have a feeling is selling right now because fisherman core is like an emerging trend that you should have your eyes out for. If you have any sweaters that kind of have this like heavy gauge rib knit, make sure you have fisherman sweater in your keywords because I guarantee you that that is why this moved now. But this to me is such a beach sweater. It's those chunky heavy cuffs that I love. And I feel like they're hard to find on sweaters. Just don't see them all that often. Again, this is likely something that would have stayed with me if this was in my size. So I had this listed for just over 10 months. Again, this is another thing that I think just took some time to sell because it was a size extra small. And I had it listed for $34. I do believe I dropped the price on this at some point in the last 10 months. And I got an offer for $28.90, which I gladly accepted. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $26.04. Again, happy to be moving this on. It is a great little sweater. Next up, oh, this adorable little dress from Free People. I feel like I never find the maxi dresses from Free People. These are the things from Free People, like the metal tag Free People, that sell the best for me. And I just thought this thing was so cute. And I'll tell you, I had quite a bit of interest on this. This had a little bit of damage down at the bottom on the ruffle. Not super noticeable. Like, I always try to go by, would that stop me from wearing it? And it certainly wouldn't. I just thought it was really, really cute, breezy little day dress, lightweight denim chambray. And it has this like open back keyhole. It's really like quite cute. 100% something I can see being worn to like Coachella or Stagecoach. That's big news out here, guys. So I had this guy listed at $32, and there were a couple other of these dresses out on the market. They were priced a bit higher. I want to say that they were priced more towards like the $40 to $50 range. I priced it at $32 because of that damage. So don't always shy away from things if there's a little bit of damage. Something like this, I just don't think that the damage is going to impact the wearability all that much. And honestly, it's getting something that would otherwise be going to a landfill, out of the landfill, into the hands of somebody who's going to wear it. Now, obviously, if you're looking at something like this, that would typically be a higher priced item from Free People, and you're paying like full thrift store price, you're paying $9.99 for it, I would still hesitate. But if you're seeing something like this at the bins, like, use your judgment. Would you wear it with whatever the damage is? Disclose it in the listing and then give it like an exploding deadline. If it doesn't sell by X amount of time, you can redonate it back. Or again, so I had this listed for $32 for just 2 weeks. Again, had a ton of interest in it. My sidekick sent an offer for $28, which was accepted. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $21.40. So I hope she loves it. It is a super cute little dress. I've never seen that before from Free People. Next up, this is one of the other things that I've had for a really long time. I'm kind of a little bit surprised on this one, but I did have a lot of interest in this. So this is from Beholden, BHLDN. That's the label, if you are unfamiliar with it. Beholden is kind of like the bridal side of Anthropologie, and they sell full-on wedding dresses, they sell bridesmaids dresses, they sell little chemises and robes and all the things that you need around the bridal season of life. And I will say that the brand in general is a bolo. You know, you want to keep your eyes out for it. A lot of the stuff is pretty expensive. They carry some great brands. This is Beholden brand, but this, for whatever reason, just took a while. I listed this a long time ago, of course, and if memory serves me right, when I did list it, I was kind of surprised to see how many of these there were. So maybe this was just one of their more popular products or something that they advertise kind of heavily, and there's just a lot out there, a little bit of saturation. That could easily be the case. I also find that a lot of things like this, these kind of little chemises, are the kind of things that get gifted at like a bridal shower. And I think you see a lot of these new with tags because they just don't get worn. You know, are there a lot of people that sleep in stuff like this? I don't know. But I feel like you see a lot of this kind of stuff new with tags. And this was not, so that could also have been playing against it. Either way, it's super cute, and I love that like dusty pink color. So I had this listed at $28 for just over 10 months. And again, I think I had lowered the price on this at some point, but I got an offer for $20, which I gladly accepted. Again, I was ready to move this on, and with a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to a profit of $15 even. So I hope she loves it. It is very, very cute. But do keep your eyes out for those Beholden pieces. And finally here, again, we're selling swimsuits in January. This is what's called a surf suit from Rip Curl. You can see it's got a little leash in the back so you can zip yourself up, open back. These are quite expensive. Now, Rip Curl is not a brand that I would typically pick up, certainly not their clothes, but their swimsuits, especially suits like this, I will. This is made to be like a rash guard and a swimsuit all in one. And I really love the colors. This gives me like Aviator Nation vibes, if you can imagine. If you're familiar with those colors and the way that they have like their sweatpants, they have stripes just like this, slightly brighter colors, but it just kind of gives me those vibes. But either way, These retail for like $150. If memory serves me right, they're pretty spendy. So this is one kind of swimsuit I will pick up anytime I see it. They're pretty much purpose built and purpose bought, right? I found a few over time of like surf suits that are made of like neoprene. That's another thing to keep your eyes out for. I don't know how much you're gonna find that elsewhere. Like, let me know if you do find stuff like that. Let me know where you are. I'm obviously in Southern California, so like surfing is a very big deal here. So I see stuff like this probably more frequently than most folks, but let me know, like, have you ever found a surf suit inland somewhere? Like, let me know what you found, and did you pick it up? Did you leave it behind? Did you sell it? Let me know. So anyway, I had this listed for $72. Again, these are quite pricey. I had this listed at $72 for about 5 months. I found this in like early July, and it's selling again in January. It's wild, wild. And I got an offer for $60, which I gladly accepted with a $1 cost of the bins. This brought me to a profit of $54.90. I hope this goes to a lot of good use, hopefully some good days out on the waves. But that is it, guys. That is the shipment for today. Thank you so much for hanging with me while I literally get my work done. Of course, I'm running late. I am losing daylight. It is almost nighttime out, so I've got to get these things packed up, loaded in my car, and off to the post office. So guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey, but without further ado, guys, have the most beautiful weekend. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.